front of the Eiffel Tower, that's where the boats start.
Oh yeah, that's close. On the other side.
There's a bridge. Pretty well, it is pretty.
That way.
No, I didn't. I just want to see. Oh, but you know what? I just want to get the whole thing if you stand right there with your camera.
$5 umbrella and get a hold up. Honestly. That's not a covered bridge.
World Fair in 1900. It was considered a technical wonder because it was one of the first big glass roofs ever built in the world. Fencing took place under this glass roof during the Olympics. But first let's take this bridge. Was built also for the World Fair in 1900. The Eiffel Tower was built for another one, 1889. Here we speak of 1900. The church is a lot for fashion and wedding pictures. I love this Petit Palais. It's such a good example with the bridge we took of what we call the good age. So today Le Petit Palais is occupied by an art museum, but we've got our technique so that you can enjoy the famous view of the Champs-Élysées going up to the Arch of Triumph. So don't worry, even if you can't drive anymore around the Venice, we've got a technique. Because you can't say, I was a tourist in Paris if you don't enjoy this famous view. Usually because they are copies of Roman buildings, temples or arches. In French, a perspective, it's when you've got different elements exactly on the same straight line. So here, above the balcony, on the left-hand side. Voila. Now, ladies, the footbridge in front of us on the right-hand side is the other very romantic bridge of Paris. If you remember Sabrina with Harrison Ford, it's on that bridge that it is, yes, at the end of the movie. And on each side, two buildings of Louis XIV, the building with the dome, and this part of the Louvre. You see the suns on the balcony. I told you Louis XIV built a large on the inside. It was the first bridge built in Paris with stones. Our medieval bridges were wooden bridges. That's why they don't exist anymore. That was also the first bridge built with no shop on each side. So it was possible for the first time to see the river when walking on the bridge. And because of the new view and the new material, it received that name, the new bridge, but now it's the oldest we've got. Voilà, Pont Neuf. Now, we've got three famous medieval buildings on this island. Notre-Dame, La Conciergerie, and La Sainte-Chapelle. So we go to the City Hall. So, and it was particularly used a lot during the French Revolution. That was not good to be here. Believe me, that meant no chance to avoid the National Razor, which was the nickname of the guillotine in Paris. So among the thousands of people who were beheaded, most of them spent at least one night here before being sent to the guillotine after a kind of trial. And maybe you could give me the name of the most famous prisoner here. It's a woman. It's a queen. Marie Antoinette. Yeah, she spent the 2 last months here. Yeah. And you see the steeple behind this conciergerie? That's the steeple of La Sainte-Chapelle my favorite building in Paris with Notre Dame.
So
If you
we'll
like stained glass windows,
be right here.
this is a must.
Saint-
And it's
Saint-Chapelle.
unique in the world because of the size of the windows. They're so big if you compare with the small space occupied by the masonry that when you're in
Around
that
here,
chapel,
I don't know exactly which
you're
one.
in a box of glass. It's incredible. This chapel was built for King Saint Louis. You know, the French king was canonized. He bought the crown. At the moment, before I speak more about Notre Dame, you're going to see the beautiful City Hall of Paris on the right-hand side. It's not old, it's of the 19th century, but it's a nice building because it was built in the Renaissance style. Voilà, City Hall of Paris. Hôtel de Ville in French.
Look at all the statues.
Oh, a huge demonstration. Now, speaking of Notre Dame, you know what Notre Dame means? Our Lady. Huh? All the French churches developed before him. So he crowned himself back in Notre Dame of Paris. That was in 1804. So if tomorrow you come here during your free time, you see, to see Notre Dame, there's a lot to do around Notre Dame. You can go to the flower market, you can try to go to the street to see an institution, Shakespeare Company, which is the oldest American bookstore of Paris. And she lived on that hill in the 5th century. She's been our patron saint since 451. Because you've heard of Attila the Hun, terrible barbarian. His troops were coming very close. The Persians were scared, everybody wanted to leave. And such Louis le Grand, that means Louis the Great, humble nickname of Louis XIV. Is that the humble nickname was Le Roi Soleil, the Sun King. Okay? And the next building is another university. So just in that street you see the consortium of universities and high schools. Now, we're going to drive around the Panthéon, which is a very famous building of Paris. But for your pictures, the best place, it's now, on the left-hand side, because then we'll drive around, but we'll be like too close. So try to take a picture now. This was a church originally built in the 18th century in honor of Parisians, but during the revolution, this became a pantheon, so a place devoted to important people of the country. So many famous French, and she had it twice on top of this. Famous scientists who discovered radioactivity. Marie Curie. So she's buried here with her husband, Pierre Curie. The other famous lady with you, she was transferred here like 3-4 years ago. She was American originally. A singer, a dancer, not that famous anymore in the States, unfortunately, but an icon for us. Active member of the French Resistance also during World War II. And then have a look on the other side, on the left-hand side. I love that view. This is another perspective. Everything's on the same straight line from the middle of the Luxembourg Palace, all the columns, all the statues, and then in the background, the Leonardo of who lives here. You know the French actress Catherine Deneuve? She lives here.
Oh.
At number 74, where you see the brown doors.
Who does?
Catherine Deneuve.
Oh, yeah. Really?
On the very top. You're going to see a shop which is famous here, Pierre Hermé. You see the black store? Pierre Hermé. He's a star in France and Japan. His macaroons are, I think, the best ones in Paris, and that's his first one. That's the first one he opened. Now he's got so many shops in France and Flore. I told you, all the French know Le Café de Flore. It's maybe the most famous cafe of France. So imagine in the 50s, writers like Hemingway, Jean-Paul Sartre, Simone de Beauvoir, actors like Brigitte Bardot, Catherine Deneuve, movie makers and so on, meeting in these cafes. But the name to the quarter, because Saint-Germain-des-Prés means Saint Germain in the field. When this church was built, it's too big. Now, you know, I did not show you the glass pyramid of the Louvre, which is in the main courtyard, because thanks to our ex-mayor, it's not allowed anymore to drive here. It's only for bicycles and city buses, so there's no way we can show you the glass pyramid. But, you know, it's one of the highlights of Paris, and it's very famous. And you know who built it? He was American, he passed away a few years ago. You know that the glass pyramid, when it was built in 1989, many Parisians, particularly old Parisians, did not like it at all. It was so controversial. And they did not like it because of the material glass in a pretty old courtyard. But maybe you know that half of the French did not like the Eiffel Tower when it was built. It was nicknamed La Chose, the Fête de Paris, the monster of Paris. And the reason why they did not like it, that was exactly the same reason. That was because of the material iron, which is not a noble material like stones, particularly in those days, you know. Iron was the material used for industrial construction. Used 2 months, 5 days. It's nothing for a new technique like iron construction. If you go to the Musée d'Orsay, the new entrance is here on the left-hand side.
The new entrance to it.
Yeah, at the moment, because usually the main entrance is after the traffic light on the left-hand side, where there are many statues of animals, but they're doing works apparently in front of the Musée d'Orsay, so the new entrance is here. Yeah. Just for those of you, maybe we'll try to go to the Musée d'Orsay. Oh yeah, it's worse and worse with the works. And now you're going to see again the small building that Jeff. He's not the first one who came to France. Who was the first one?
Benjamin Franklin.
Voila, Benjamin Franklin. You know, he was living. Have a look first on the left-hand side. Oh. You will see half of this glass roof of Le Grand Palais, and you will see the Alexander III Bridge that we took at the beginning of the tour. So that will be on the left-hand side. Look on the other side. I can't get tired of this view. You see the city island with the 2 towers of Notre Dame and with the steeple of La Sainte-Chapelle. Yeah. Voilà, we're back to Place de la Concorde.
Voilà.
The guillotine area.
Yeah, the first place, because 5 different places were used by the guillotine. Each time it was moved because people, complaining about the smell. You know, the Champs-Élysées Avenue is famous for us because it's a part of that perspective between the Louvre and the Arc de Triomphe. Also, it's a symbol. Side is representing the way he walked down the Champs-Élysées Avenue after the liberation of Paris. That was in August 1944. So when he left London to get to France after the liberation of Paris, the first at 7 p.m.
It's in a lot of movies.
Something.
A lot of movies.
In many movies. Yeah.
People trying to get
The name of the circle around the arch is officially Charles de Gaulle Circle, but linked to Anita. In the next corner on the left-hand side, you're going to see, ladies, the biggest store of Louis Vuitton in the world. It's the World Block. And after this store, you're going to see what is going to be at the Lux Hotel, and there are the wonderful ladies to hide the scaffoldings with a big Louis Vuitton suitcase.
Okay, you can already see them standing in line at Louis Vuitton. For those of you that are going with us to Versailles, we make the stop a little bit longer here because on the left-hand side there will come up a drugstore. You will see it's called a drugstore, and you could go there. They have the best sandwiches, babkas, quiche for you. Why do I mention that? Because the restaurant which they have not, they're €2. Yeah, they do have restrooms, but they are €2. We are on the Champs-Élysées. And then I would like to ask those of you that are not going to Versailles to hand in your Vox boxes. So the moment you hop off the bus, I'll be outside. Please, can you give me your Vox boxes? Because tomorrow for the Monet Gardens, we're not going to use them. And the ones, of course, that are going to Versailles, hold on to them because you're definitely going to use them in Versailles. But not joining to Versailles, please hand them in. If you didn't bring yours along today, then please bring them tomorrow when we go for the farewell dinner. Yeah? So.
Oh.
that far away, but when you see
Yeah.
shit.
Washington, voilà. And the statue of Benjamin Franklin is at the end of that avenue on the right hand side, on the top of that hill. So let's drive down the hill to get to the river.
Mark.
You know,
Yeah.
we're lucky enough in Paris,
Wow.
no matter where you live, you've got at least twice a week food markets like this. Yeah. Museum of Fashion of Paris on the left hand side. And on the right hand side, the Tokyo Palace, occupied by a museum of modern art. I don't like the Tokyo Palace. Was built for the
Yeah.
last World Fair of Paris, 1937. That's why it is called architecture. Exactly like the Palais de Chaillot, which is on the Credible Circle, close to your hotel. Same architecture. It became a memorial for her. So it's here that people bring flowers, put the padlocks on the chain around. So it's going to be on the right hand side. The name of the bridge we're going to take, the name of that square in front of us, and the name of the tunnel under the square is Al. We're getting old. Because next year, that will be 30 years ago. No, I can't believe it. Yeah, 97. 1997. So, voila, you see the flame? On the right hand side, above the exit of the tunnel. And the entrance is, well, behind this bus where you see the little trees.
All it did was go under this intersection. That's all it did.
Yes, come over, please. Can you get it?
They left from the Ritz on Place Vendôme.